All right, we're back. So it's been a week since the last video. It's currently May 5th, 2025, Cinco de Mayo. Also, I realized in the last video, I gave a little bit of context to like who I am, but I mainly just shared, like what I've done, where I'm at as a creator. I didn't really share a ton about who I am personally, so I wanted to share a little bit more about who I am. So I am currently 26 years old. No, I'm 25 years old. I'll be 26 in July. I graduated from college with a degree in marketing about 2 years ago, and I currently work full-time as a marketing manager. Kind of what that entails is I run a lot of social media. I track all of our revenue and attribute the revenue, like where it came from. Email marketing. It's a pretty small company, so I do a lot. And in general, I do like my job. I like creating content and doing my own projects more. And so there's also a lot more financial upside from doing my own thing. And so that's kind of why I'm pursuing the path of being a creator. I've also always wanted to be one. Like growing up, I watched a lot of YouTube, and I was inspired by people like the Sidemen and Smosh and Graham Stephan, and I mean there's a ton of people that I watched on YouTube growing up as a kid, and I still watch a lot of YouTube today. So I don't necessarily desire like the fame. I don't want to be famous necessarily, but I don't know. I find it fun to create content and to see the numbers and the metrics, and yeah, it's like a game for me. So let's talk about what happened this past week. So so last week I talked about how the numbers on my YouTube channel are kind of going down. Basically, as a recap, oh boy, there's some high school kids over here going crazy in this parking lot. So I was creating content about X monetization and doing pretty well with that. But then X monetization started dying, and so I'm trying to switch my niche to kind of more broad content about how to help small creators grow and monetize on social media. And the way I'm trying to differentiate myself is by calling it like the right way. And essentially what that means is like a lot of make money online content is very like do this to make money. But then a lot of the ethics are like not really talked about. Like, so by doing things the right way, I mean like not taking shortcuts, not like stealing content from other people and re-uploading it, that kind of idea. Doing it the right way, as in doing it the right way. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, like I said, a lot of my views are kind of going down, and the strategy that I've been following since I changed my niche about a month and a half ago is Ed Lawrence from Film Booth. His recommendation is to target mainly browse and not focus on search, because if you can create a video that gets picked up by the algorithm and a lot of people watch it from browse or suggested, then that's how you're going to get a ton of views. Whereas through search, unless it's like a trending topic or evergreen, basically, if it's a trending topic, it may get a massive spike of views initially and then die off. Or if it's a more evergreen topic, then it might take a while. You know, like the views will come in more slowly. Anyways, his philosophy is to target browse. And so that's what I did on my last, I think, 4 or 5 videos. And most of those did not do super well. And so I was kind of thinking about this, and I was like, all right, I need to try something different. What if I tried modeling a format that's worked well for me before? And what if I tried targeting search because I'm trying to change my niche? Then my hunch is that making those videos that were targeting browse and suggested were not picking up as many views as I wanted because my existing audience was not watching them. And so then they were kind of dying off. Now, maybe it was just bad packaging, bad videos, bad video ideas. Maybe that's why the videos weren't getting the traction I wanted. But I had a hunch that it might be because of my existing audience that was holding me back a little. So I had the idea to target search in hopes that I could bring in a new audience, the new audience that I've always wanted, to be honest, but bring in the new audience, and hopefully that can kind of change the tide a little bit. So back in January, or I think it was like December 29th of last year, I posted a video called How to Make Money on Twitter in 2025 Full Guide. And it's been one of my best performing videos. I think it's got like 32,000 views, and it's made at least $150, probably more than that. I think it's my highest earning video, and it may also be the video that's gained me the most subscribers. Anyways, great performing video. Right in the glory days of X monetization, when everyone was still somewhat happy with things. So I decided to copy that format, but then just apply it to a more broad topic. So instead of how to make money on Twitter, I made how to make money on social media in 2025 Full Guide. And I uploaded that video on Saturday, and it was a little slow out the gate, but then over the weekend it picked up a little bit, and the last time I checked, it was a 6 out of 10. Sorry. The last time I checked, it was a 6 out of 10 and had like 250 views or something. It's not doing as great as, the videos in the X monetization videos I used to be making, but 6 out of 10 is good, because most of my other videos I was making were like 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10s. I think it's as of right now, the second best performing video since I changed my niche. Maybe second or third. But I have hope that this will continue to pick up steam over time and consistently gain views. Whereas a lot of the views I've made in the last month or two, they kind of see an initial spike right when I upload them, but then they die off and don't get as many views. So that's kind of the thought process. That's kind of the thought process behind that video. Another thing I'll say with this is, when I was in kind of the heyday of X monetization, basically I figured out that if I titled the video anything related to how to make money on Twitter or how to get your first X payout, the video would be like a guaranteed 1,000 views. And that was a good number for me back then. I would get like 1,000 views if I titled the video that way. So I don't know why it took me like 2 months to have the idea to try that in my new niche, but this is my first attempt at doing that. Like all my videos before this, since I changed my niche, were about like how to grow on social media. Like I failed at social media until I understood this. If I wanted to blow up on social media, I'd do this first. Basically about gaining followers or building an audience. But this is the first one targeted around making money, which, like I said, it worked before, and so I feel pretty good that it will work in this new niche as well. So that's kind of the thought process behind the video I posted on Saturday. My next video that will come out hopefully this coming weekend is called How I Would Make My First $1 on Social Media If I Started Over. So building on that, how to make money on social media format or style. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process behind the videos that I'm making right now. And I'll make sure to let you guys know how those do in the weeks to come. What else? Yes. So something that I've been struggling with over the last couple months, since things started going down instead of up, is like I consume a lot of educational content. Like especially when things are not going well, I want to like figure out what the magic fix is, and so I listen to a lot of Alex Hormozy, Ed Lawrence from Film Booth, who I've mentioned already. I like My First Million. That one's more motivational and less tactical, but I listen to a lot of podcasts and tutorials and videos and stuff like that. But what often happens is I hear all these amazing tips and advice and what's worked, and I kind of get analysis paralysis. And then when I go to make my next video, I get like stressed out and try and over-optimize everything, overthink the title and thumbnail and all that kind of stuff. And so this past week, I tried to not consume as much educational content and just do the work. Like, I know what I need to do. I just need to make videos and double down on what works, and things are going to be okay. Like, I'm going to figure it out. I was figuring it out before until things went downhill. I just have to make videos. I just have to do the work, and things are going to work out. So I stopped, consuming the content. But one thing that I have been thinking about is, like, obviously I love being a creator and I love making videos and, seeing the videos when they blow up and seeing what works, and it's kind of like a game for me. That's really why I want to be a creator. I love the creative aspect. And I mentioned in the last video that I need to be making like $5,000 a month in order to go full time. And I'm currently making like $250 a month, so quite a ways to go. But I know that it can change quickly. Anyways, basically, I know that if I want to be a full-time creator and I want to scale my income, that I can't just rely on ad revenue. I need to have some type of business on the back end of my content, like a product or a service that gives me a little bit more stability. And so I currently I'm building my email list, and I've done a number of like coaching or consulting calls already. And coaching and consulting, I don't mind it occasionally, and I think it can be kind of fun, but I don't necessarily want my entire business to be built around that. Like, I don't want to build an agency necessarily. I kind of lean more towards the product side is kind of what I want to do. And so, I've been researching, different ways I can do that. And one thing that you'll pretty quickly find out, if you haven't already, is that I'm a big Alex Hormozy fan. I love his stuff. And obviously, he's a part owner in Skool. He's invested in Skool. And so this week I was doing some research on Skool and WAP and kind of trying to decide if one of those could be a good option for me. I was initially intrigued by the idea of Skool because of the community aspect. I think in my niche where I'm kind of helping people grow and monetize on social media, I think a community could be a good option for me on the back end. But before I decide on like what my monetization method on the back end is going to be, then I wanted to use the platforms and get an idea of like, do I actually like this? Because if I don't like it, then why would I build my entire business around it? So I've been, messing around in some Skool communities, and I watched a bunch of content from Max Persson, I don't know how you say his name, the Swedish guy that's won the Skool games a bunch of times, and he has a community about basically how to build a profitable Skool community. And I haven't quite finished the free part of the course yet, but I mean, so far it's been super educational, and I've learned a lot more about how Skool works and like how he monetizes, and kind of the idea of having like a free Skool community, and then that funnels into a paid community. And then, I played around with WAP a little bit, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Skool. I like how simple it is. I like that it's backed by Alex Hormozy, and I know a lot of people have made good money on Skool, and that it's growing and doing well. So I'm intrigued by that and strongly considering that as my method of monetization. Something else I'll say here, obviously my strategy is to build a small audience first, make sure I have an audience, and then monetize that audience. And then as I grow, then I'll funnel my audience into, my additional monetization methods. But one thing I've been thinking about, there's this guy on X named Juna. He runs a YouTube channel called Chess Page, and he has a Skool community. And he basically said, like, when he started his YouTube channel and needed to find an additional way to monetize, he just kind of picked Skool and ran with it. And he made the point, I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically, like, it's better to just monetize some way than to like spend all this time overthinking and trying to make out like the perfect plan for how you're going to monetize and doing all this research. Like, I currently work a 9 to 5. I want to be a full-time creator. It's not like the first thing I choose is what I have to do. I did this same thing in college, actually. Like when I was interviewing for jobs and stuff out of college, I would get like super hung up on like making the perfect choice when it's like I'm not going to work for the same company for my entire life. Like it's not like this decision is the end all be all right here, and if I choose the wrong company I'll just hate the rest of my life. Like it's the same thing with choosing my external monetization method. So I'm pretty strongly leaning towards Skool. Um, I I don't like the connotation that comes towards people that sell courses. Like I really don't want to be seen as like a course peddler where I'm just like creating content with the sole purpose of funneling people into a course, and then the course is like crappy and it's basically just a money grab. Like I really want to be um, as helpful as possible to people. And I don't want to, basically, I don't want to just build something for the money. Like I want to genuinely be helpful. I genuinely want to build something of value. And so I know courses and online courses have a pretty negative stigma and connotation, but I'm all for courses as long as you're not making any outlandish claims about your course or promising things that like you cannot guarantee that someone will watch your course and then become a millionaire. That's just not how it works. The person still has to do things and get things right and learn things from themselves and stuff like that. And so I kind of have hesitations about selling a course, because this kind of comes down to like a more deep rooted part of my personality, which is like I care a lot what people think of me. I've gotten a lot better, like in terms of my family and friends. Like, well, I've learned a lot of this from Alex Hormozy. He has a lot of good stuff on this, but like pretty much I've gotten good at this with my family and friends. I don't care what they think. Like, I'm just going to do what I want. Like, I'm going to pursue this path. I'm going to become a creator and scale my YouTube channel and make money online. But what I do still struggle with is like hate and negativity. And like when I get negative comments, either on YouTube or on X, like they really do affect me. They affect my mood a lot. And so I think I'm afraid of kind of the perception that might come if I'm selling courses. But as long as my course is valuable and like it genuinely helps people, no matter what, people are not going to like what you do. You can't please everyone. And some people, even if their course is legitimately the greatest and most helpful piece of educational content ever created, people are still going to hate on it because they're selling a course. So that part I'm kind of okay with. But anyways, I think you get the idea. I'm kind of afraid of selling a course, to put it succinctly. But that's why I was initially drawn to the idea of like a community. And so if I did a Skool community, then that would allow me to put courses in there. But then it's not like the only thing I'm selling is the courses. I would also want to invest a lot of time and effort into making the community good as well. Because at the end of the day, with a paid community, like Skool is a subscription model. it's not like these people are just paying an upfront fee for the course. Like, they're going to be paying monthly or maybe yearly. So I've got to have something else that provides value to them. But yeah, so that's something that will come later down the road, is some type of external monetization methods. Probably Skool. I'm not totally decided yet. Another thing I've been thinking about is, like, Skool doesn't have to be the only method of external monetization that I do. Like, I'm still going to build my email list. I'm still going to build my YouTube channel. Obviously, I want to make sure that I don't spread myself too thin too quickly. But once again, it's not like the Skool community is what I'm married to for the rest of time and all eternity. So anyways, those are some of my thoughts. That's what I'm thinking about. I got big plans, but I got to get some traction and make some things actually happen before I can really get too far ahead of myself. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I was actually pleasantly surprised with how well the other video did. Last time I checked, it had like 60 views or something and a handful of comments. It actually got picked up by the algorithm and shown to people on browse. So I thought that was interesting. I don't really have great expectations for this video series getting tons of views or anything. I mean, at least right now, like, if I eventually do become a full-time creator and all that, then I think this series could be really helpful for people. But it probably would be something that people kind of stumble upon, one at a time, and the views will kind of trickle in. But ultimately, I said this in the last video, this is not meant to be like entertaining. It's not meant to be super edited. It's supposed to be raw. Like, I'm not gonna cut out when I say the wrong stuff or when I'm coughing. Also, I probably I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, or even the beginning of the first video. But I talk really slow, like really slow, and I pause a lot in between my words. So I would strongly encourage you to watch these videos on 2x speed, maybe even like 4x speed, because of how slow I talk. But hopefully the content of the videos and kind of getting a glimpse into what I'm thinking about is what's helpful, and hopefully you can get past my flaws, my boring monotone voice. Could probably turn this on to fall asleep to, honestly. But yeah, all right, I think that's it for this video. Let me think if there's anything else I wanted to say. No, I think that's it. Thanks for tuning in. This one is 29 minutes. Sorry for making you listen to me for this long, but yeah, I'll see you when I see you, probably next Monday. But I'm trying not to make this, I don't want this to take away from my actual business. So I'll plan on doing it every Monday, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So, all right, see you guys next week.